the darkest periods in Israel's history when the nation had no direction and no courage, God did not raise up a military general or a priest or a king to lead his people. He raised up a woman, a wife, a mother, a prophet. She sat under a palm tree and the entire nation came to her for wisdom and judgment. This is Deborah, and her story is for every woman who has ever been told that her calling is too big for who she is. If this kind of biblical teaching strengthens your faith, hit subscribe. Judges chapter 4 verses 1 to 5. Israel had been oppressed for 20 years under the Canaanite king Jabin and his military commander Sisera. The people cried out to God, and God raised up Deborah as judge and prophet over all of Israel. She held court under the palm of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel. The entire nation came to her to have the dispute settled. She was not a background figure. She was the leader, and when the time came for battle she did not send someone else. She went herself. Lesson 1. God qualifies the ones he calls regardless of what the world expects. In a culture that did not typically place women in positions of national leadership, God chose Deborah. Not despite who she was. Because of who she was. She was a prophet, a judge and a leader all at the same time. God's assignments do not follow cultural expectations. They follow his sovereign choice. If God has placed a calling on your life that feels too large for the container the world has assigned you, Deborah is your evidence that he does not ask the world's permission before he calls someone. Lesson 2. True leadership summons courage in others, not just in itself. Deborah summoned Barak and told him God had commanded him to go to battle against Sisera. Barak's response was, "If you go with me I will go, but if you don't go with me I will not go." He was the military commander. She was the judge, and he would not move without her. A truly great leader does not just operate in courage themselves. They become the presence that unlocks courage in the people around them. Your faith and your obedience can become the thing that gives someone else permission to move. Lesson 3. Answering God's call requires going even when the conditions are not ideal. Deborah told Barak that because of his hesitation the honor of the victory would go to a woman. And then she said, "Get up, for this is the day the Lord has given Sisera into your hands." Has not the Lord gone ahead of you? She did not wait for perfect conditions. She declared the word of God and moved forward. Whatever God has called you to that you have been waiting to begin because the conditions are not right yet, Deborah says, get up. The Lord has already gone ahead of you. Lesson 4. A woman who walks in her God-given calling becomes a mother to a nation. Judges chapter 5 verse 7. In her song of victory, Deborah called herself a mother in Israel. Not a general, not a political leader, a mother. The highest expression of her calling, in her own words, was not the position she held but the people she covered. She led not to be seen but to serve. Not to accumulate power but to protect a people. Whatever platform, calling or influence God has given you, it is not for your own glory. Send this to a woman carrying a calling she has been afraid to step into, needs to hear this.